I'm Michael. This is episode 11 of the Enoree Station Project. We're finally going to start construction. So, picked up this load of wood last night, and you could see that the truck's not too happy about it. So we're going to try to get it unloaded. Okay, we made it down to the building. Okay, everybody, we've got the wood unloaded, and I know what a lot of people are thinking. Why did you buy pressure-treated lumber for interior on a job where you're trying to save money? And there's a couple of reasons we decided to go with the pressure treat. The hole we're repairing was caused by water damage, and while most of that damage obviously came through this giant hole in the roof, not all of it. This damage to the front edge of the floor appears to be created by water flowing down this drive and piling up on this wall and overflowing it. So that's ground contact to me, which means I should use pressure treat. There's another reason. I don't know when I'm going to be able to fix this wall or this roof. I'd like to get it all done in the next couple of months, but I also understand that things can come up, plans could change, so I want pressure treated in here in case the building's not dried in. Water keeps coming in little by little. I mean, not obviously as bad as it was with my patch on the roof, but it could still ruin brand new pine, probably in a couple of months' time if you weren't on top of it. So I just decided, spend the extra $150 and get pressure treat in here. That way, I'm sure wherever water's coming in, at least I can maybe get the building patched up before it ruins it. All right, well, on to the next project. Let's see if my little tiny truck can make it back home. Hey everybody, it's the next day, and we're going to do something that I've been looking forward to ever since I bought the property. We're going to get to real construction here on the cottage. Goal for today, the sill plate that runs from this pillar to this pillar, it's rotten. It's 4 2x10s sandwiched together, and about 3 of them are almost completely gone. The outer one we might be able to save. We're going to try. First, we got to clean up the big pile of garbage underneath the building that's from the collapsed hole. So we'll get outside, we'll rake that up into a pile. Okay, this will give everybody a better look at what I'm dealing with. So from about there to that corner, that's what we're looking to replace today. Like I said, it's 4 deep. I'm hoping that that outer one is in good shape. If it's not, the plan will be to replace the 3 inner ones, then replace the outer one. Hopefully we won't have to jack up the building, but if we do, we'll get there. So here's some of the other floor joists, like that's that one at the front. Alright, I should also mention that it is 7:30 in the morning. It's already 85 degrees and 100% humidity. Air you can wear. It is thick out here. I'm swimming in it, so it's not going to be a fun day. Okay, so it's in a little worse shape than I was thinking, but I bought extra wood. I was kind of figuring it was going to be worse than it looked. So that is the outer beam, and I don't think she's salvageable. Looks pretty rough to me. Now in the corner, all 4 beams are still there, and they're holding up the corner of this building. Let's see if I get a better shot. That's what we're dealing with. So I think what I'm going to have to do, though, I'm going to have to put in either a car jack or block and wedges underneath those two joists, or at least that joist in the corner, and lift that corner of the building up, take the pressure off of this sill, and replace the whole thing. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, I've got some blocks pounded in there. I think that should give me enough pressure off of this sill plate to get it out. Alright, we're going to try pounding this thing out and cutting it. Sill plate's out. Looks decent right there. I'll probably cut it back just a little bit more. I'm going to try to stagger my patch in here. 4 of them laminated together, so staggering won't be super tough. So we got a lot of carpenter ants active in this. And this front sill is going to have to be replaced. I might actually have to do this front sill plate first. Okay, the hole keeps getting bigger. I'm looking for good wood, and I have yet to find it. I think I'm going to have to replace that whole front sill before I replace the sill on the rotten wall. Even though I know that's bad to leave it like that, maybe I could get a jack post or something to hold it up, because those 2 front floor joists, which I was really hoping were salvageable just because of where they're at and how hard it's going to be to get them out, they don't look salvageable. And worse than that, some of the supports look like they've got some dry termite damage, and you can't even see it until you're right up on it and you pound it with a hammer and it turns into dust. So kind of depressed. I was really hoping for better. I was really hoping to start adding wood today, and it looks like I'm just going to be spending the whole day removing rotten, termite damage, water damage, junk, and trying to figure out a way to replace it all. I'll show you guys from underneath so you can get a better idea what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's showing on camera. Let me zoom in a little bit. You can see that that is sagged considerably, and the joist is crushed. And from the outside, you really don't see too much. Doesn't look all eaten, but inside you can see where I've knocked out some. It's gone. Fortunately, it's not terribly far back. It only goes into the first 2 or 3 feet of it, and then it gets solid. But that means that I'm going to have to replace, I think, this 2 or 3 feet up front, and try to jack this up too. And the same goes for the next one. And the next one, the front 2 feet just appear to be either water damaged or termite damaged, and even though from the outside, just at a glance, it looks structurally sound. Now, like I said, the rest of them, if you look, you know, it's resting basically right on top, right as it always has been. This front one, man, it has sagged. And that's, if I don't fix it now, it's going to cause all sorts of problems later. You know, the building will never be level. I don't know if I'll get all the termites out of it and they can eat away at my new work. So, unfortunately, I'm just going to keep removing and removing and removing until I'm happy that I've gotten all the bad stuff out. a lot of extra work. I was really hoping, and you can see the damage at the top, but you were hoping if it's just that damage at the top, I could put a strip in, you know, put a steel plate in and salvage it. You're not thinking, oh, you're going to have water damage at the top and termite damage at the bottom. The double whammy. So the hole keeps getting bigger, unfortunately, but we're going to do it. So I think I'm going to take a break, regroup, eat some lunch, and we'll get back to this after that. Well, the pile of rotten termite damaged wood just keeps getting bigger and bigger, unfortunately. And when I was first examining this building, I was looking at stuff like this, and on this side you go, hey, you know, that's workable. It doesn't look too bad. And then you flip it over and it's that. Obviously, got into a little bit bigger mess than I was expecting. But, you know, it's got to be done. You can see we got those plates out of the front here. And it's being held up with blocks here and here. This joist here, it's the closest thing I have to something that's structurally sound in the front of this building. So what had happened, it looks like these sill plates had rotted and bowed, and then what happened was that the front of the building ended up resting on this little wall. This little wall is not really structural. It's more or less looks like how it's built, at least from my layman's understanding. It looks like it just diverts water. Looks like the piers are supposed to do the holding up, and the most that this would do, divert water and keep the building kind of from sliding forward on the piers. Kind of like a bump stop. But you can see how much I've lifted the building. I really didn't want to spend all day doing demo work, but that's exactly what we ended up doing. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. I mean, you know, when you see that big rotten spot, you're hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. I'm not shocked by anything I saw. It's what your parents used to say, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. And that's exactly how I feel about the foundation in this building. I can just hope for the best in the future as we work on the building. But so far, it's as bad as you would think. All right, well, the sun has just set, and I'm going to call it a day.